I don't feel like y'all keeping it 100 on that situation. I honestly don't feel like nobody who spoke on that situation about the Bloods in New York, BRIM, Mel Matrix, Casanova dropping their flags. Nobody want to speak about the real truth because y'all cowards. I'm going to talk about it today, though. But before I do that, everybody heard the saying before, a broke clock could be right twice a day.
Just like I said, y'all in prison right now. I'm talking to all you that's in them sets and you can't go nowhere. You in prison. You took prison behaviors, matched it with the only law that y'all could put together, snitches get stitches, and then you forced that on everybody. So now y'all telling on each other, but everybody ain't saying nothing about what's really going on.
I said a broke clock can be right twice a day. It's a fact.
A lot of flags being dropped, y'all, in New York City. I don't see LA gang members doing that. Why copy somebody else's culture? It's not ours. You can tell, too, because a lot of these dudes is turning into rats, informants. They even turn into God.
Okay, now let's address the elephant in the room, y'all. This the part nobody talking about, right? The part everybody's scared to talk about. Because these brothers all have high honorable names in New York. And my intention is to not do anything to diminish their names, but just speak on the reality of the situation that they're faced with, because nobody has spoke on the reality of the situation that they're faced with. Everybody said, oh, Trump's in office, they want to drop their flags. Oh, they want to get out of jail, they want to drop their flags. It's a whole different angle that y'all not talking about. And it makes y'all suckers for not talking about it, but I'm going to tell the people the truth. I'm going to tell the people what this shit really like. I keep telling y'all, stop trying to sweeten this shit up and make everybody think that this lifestyle is glorious. No, it's not. I'm going to tell you what's going on, or what could possibly going on with all of, if not all of, but at least one of these individuals. All right, we're going to talk about this right now. Toto, you're not in Kansas anymore. Most of these guys have earned and built their reputations in the comfort of their own home in New York City and in New York State prisons. We being real. Does it mean they suckers? No. It's just the reality of the fact. Right? If you're from Brooklyn, specifically Brooklyn, because it's usually the deepest borough, there's pretty much no jail you can go to where whenever your feet land, it's going to be about 12 people from your neighborhood. Maybe not your specific block, but your neighborhood. Maybe 2 to 3 relatives anywhere you land. You're deep. The way a nigga move when he's completely by himself and when he's deep, or even when he has what's called the homeboy effect. Let me tell you about the homeboy effect, because they don't want to tell y'all about the homeboy effect. I know all about the homeboy effect firsthand. We're going to go through some history, right? Back in like 95, the game I was playing was extortion. I was extorting my block. I came outside one day in the comments and I told everybody, take packs or pay rent. You're going to take packs from me or you're going to pay me rent to hustle out here. I really did this. Now, I could go about this 2 ways. I could say I was able to pull that off because I was just the big bad gangster in the neighborhood, you know, and everybody was just shook at me and nobody could touch me and this, that, and the third. Or I could be honest and tell y'all about the homeboy effect. Okay? 95, Pistol Pete was home. In 95, BMO was home. In 95, Twin was alive. And in 95, Fat Aunt Hardy was still part of the family. Every day, one of them, or 2 of them, or all of them was on the block to see me. Or would pull up and ask for me. And I would jump in the car and pull off. It was established that this was my team, this was my crew. They rock with me. And everybody over there knew that. Prior to that, a few years before that, like 1990, we could talk about this now because it wasn't a body. All right, the dude lived. And it's from 1990. He was 15, 16 years old. But a guy from over there in that same block, the Commons, he's actually from Brooklyn, but he was in the Commons at the time, a guy named Trace. Not Trace Buddha, if anybody from the hood is watching. Trace Buddha was there when it happened, but a guy named Trace Lanier. He pulls a hammer on me. Pete popped his ass. Shot him out his shoes. Everybody in the hood knew about it. So certain factors like that played into it. That when I went and put the pressure on people, I could beat my chest and be like, yeah, because I was just so big and bad. But I know in the back of my mind, 4 of the most feared killers to ever come out the damn neighborhood are my friends. And these people know that. It plays a role. Now, BRIM has always been in a leadership position, in the limelight in this blood thing for a real long time. He's in a jail in California. Where do you think he sits in the grand scheme of things as far as the blood thing goes? See, when you get in the feds, it's different. You gonna ride in the blood car, you ride in a New York car. What car you jumping in? Y'all gotta realize when you get in the feds, you got other states that have been doing this blood thing for decades before New York. Like I said, broke clock right twice a day. That ain't our shit. Nigga Banging in Little Rock was on the HBO when I was a kid. They've been blooding and cripping in different places around the country way before we heard of it. So what makes you think BRIM is gonna go to a jail in California and be able to drop his nuts and say, I'm BRIM, I'm running this shit, I'm whoop-de-whoop-de whatever? Are y'all serious, man? Do y'all think that's gonna work like that if he's out there by himself? And he don't got 50 of his brims with him that believe what he believe and are under the alignment that he's under. The politics are completely different in other places. The stuff you saying does not make sense to people in other places as a blood. I went to Los Angeles as a blood. And I told you I went out there with that 5 Papa 6 drop of shit and they was laughing their ass off. Like, what the hell are you talking about? What makes you think that these guys hold that prestige when they go in these other jails around the country? Why everybody acting like it can't get different for them? It can't get different for them. If you don't fit in with what in the California jail, how many California bloods in there? You don't fit in their program, you don't fit in their system, you're the outcast, bro. You're the outcast. How you know ain't nobody tell them niggas to drop it? You ain't that. I'm a New Yorker, right? But I'm gonna tell you something. I learned early in the game. I came up in that going out of town era. I've been to jails in different towns around the country. A lot of towns, a lot of states, they don't even like New York dudes, bro. Why are we gonna act like we got these ultimate warrior characters that are gonna go in these other states and just chop up 200 people and cut them up with razor blades and just kick everybody's ass? And they just, nah, bro, dudes is human. Dudes is real and dudes is human. And dudes can be touched. Dudes is flesh and blood. And numbers matter. And outside of New York, they don't got no numbers. No. You get moved around. You can land on a yard in the feds where none of your friends are there. Maybe a couple cats you done heard about or knew in the street or whatever, bypass, whatever, but none of your clique is there. None of your immediate people is there. What if you get to a yard in a different state in a New York car? The so-called New York car consists of soft niggas or rats or something. You gonna jump in that car? You gonna walk the yard dolo? Or you just gonna pop off and go to the block? You gonna start recruiting members so you can have some backup? What are you gonna do? You're not at home no more, man. Nobody took that into consideration. None of them are home no more. BRIM was in a California jail. These dudes told me when I was out there, when I was in LA County jail. They said, y'all, yeah, that sex, money, murder shit, yeah, we respect that. That's y'all own shit. But them niggas over there claiming our hood, we don't respect that shit. Said that to me to my face. And you hear them say it to this day. You hear Cali niggas say, oh, they respect the sex, money, murder. They know our shit is organic like they gang process kind of goes. It's a neighborhood thing. Pete brought the blood part into it in jail, but it existed before it became blood in jail. It wasn't nothing to be played with before it became blood in jail. They wanted Pete to be a part of it because they knew what it was before it became blood in jail. Sex, murder, money, murder is a hood. It's a neighborhood. You go around where we from, little kids and women and stuff like do this in pictures. They're not gangbangers. They're not no gang. It's a neighborhood thing. It's not a jail thing. That's the biggest problem with the New York gang thing. It's a prison thing that is operating on the streets with all the leadership in prison. That means you're being led by failure. Yeah, I've been one. I've been a failure. I've been there. You messed up. You got caught. You failed. That's not a reason for you to be the leader. That shouldn't be celebrated. We're not celebrating getting caught. We celebrating getting caught in New York. The more you get caught in New York, the higher you rise up. So it's like the dumber you are, the worse the criminal you are, the more we think of you. Even so, the one who goes to jail, the more stuff you can get into in jail, the more we think of you. Not my philosophy. When I got my time, how the hell can I get out of here? I'm worth money on the street. I'm worth nothing in here. Not run my numbers up. Let me show this state how bad I am. I'm going to show this state what I can really do. Bro. The blind got to stop leading the blind, man. One-eyed man is king in the land of the blind. The blind don't lead the blind. Y'all don't get to do all the talking no more. Period. Because y'all the blind. And you know who I'm talking to. And it is what it is. I'm ready for whatever. These dudes, man, they don't even be in the gang stuff, man. Like with the whole prison gang mentality, they don't come in it for no real genuine love or nothing. How do you have real genuine love with another man in prison? You meeting a man in prison and you love him? Really think about it, man. I did my time in another state. I wasn't focused on gangbanging, brother. I'm going to put that out there. No, sir, I was not. No. Before I even got my time, I had a long talk with myself. No, I'm not flushing my life down the toilet for somebody I haven't even met yet. I don't know anybody here. I don't have any homies here. I don't know anybody here. This is not my home. This is not my state. And I found out early in the game that's the same way everybody else felt about it. I could go in there and scream that blood, blood, blood stuff, but these dudes got to go back home to them towns in that state with them dudes. And they're not going to go against them dudes for me. I'm the out-of-towner. I'm from out of state. I don't care how much I could talk them into being bloods. They're not going to go to war with the dudes in their city if that's who I got a problem with. Because they got to go back to that city. And they know I'm never going to go there in my life. When you're not in New York, it's different, man. We arrogant as New Yorkers, man. I swear, We think we the end all be all to everything. And I'm saying this as a New Yorker. I traveled a lot. There's bad people everywhere, man. There's bad people everywhere. I promise you. There's bad people everywhere. When you don't got your whole block with you and two of your cousins, you don't know how bad these dudes really are. That's the test. Some of your favorite gangsters haven't been tested. They haven't done it outside of New York. I'm sorry. Got too much love up there. Too much homeboys. You ain't did it in a place where nobody knows you. Your reputation doesn't exist. You got to make a reputation on somebody. They got 50 people there with them. It's different. That's the part of the game they don't want to tell you about. What if they done ran into something badder than them? What if it ain't got nothing to do with no getting out of jail and no Donald Trump? And what if a nigga from somewhere else might have said, you ain't no blood? Think it can't happen to your hero? Yeah.